Hi there! Have you ever found yourself in this curious situation? Maybe you happen to be working with somebody who's feverishly obsessed with disc golf, and maybe you happen to be going somewhere that has a disc golf course on it, and maybe you just want to give this thing a try. So the next day, the guy walks in with a stack full of discs, and you're just like, what did I get myself into? Well, if you've ever found yourself in this place, this video is oddly specifically for you. So let's get started. So chances are, the first thing you're gonna get is 3 discs. Well, it's the most basic starter set, so let's just start with that. Your first disc might have a sharp edge to it. You might feel like this is gonna kill somebody, and you know what? If you throw it hard enough, it just might. But this is your driver. This one's a fairway driver, and that's what most starter sets are, but I'm not gonna confuse you right now. So this is your driver. It has a sharp edge, so it cuts through the air furiously. It is going to be your distance driver if you know how to throw it. But if it's your first time throwing it, you might not get that much out of it. So you might move on to your mid-range. This thing feels a little bit more frisbee-like. It has a less sharp edge to it, but it still feels a little sharp compared to what you're probably used to. And then last but not least is your putter. This thing is very blunt-nosed, and it feels very much like a regular old frisbee, but it's about a quarter the size. So that's the 1, 2, 3. That's your bread and butter and cinnamon or salt if you're into that. How do you play this game? What do you use each shot for? And how do you actually shoot it? Well, that's easy. The object of the goal is to get it from the tee pad into the basket in the least amount of strokes, just like golf. This weird contraption is set up so that way when you hit the chains, it falls into the basket. You want to get it in here. So, boom, I just won. Let's look at a course. So now that we're actually on a hole, I can show you more what this game is. So, your first throw, you're gonna wind up, you don't know how to handle it, you don't know how to throw it, you don't know what you are doing, because this feels like nothing you've ever felt before. It feels like pure joy. You're welcome. So I'm going to show you some of the common ways to hold these things since it's not your traditional frisbee. With the sharper and smaller rim, you want to at least get a finger on the contact point. This is called a fan grip. You just kind of fan your fingers out there, you have your finger, the pad of your finger on the rim, and you just hold it like you're handshaking somebody. Nice to meet you. Did I get the job, sir? Thank you very much. From there, you want to rip it. And this is going to be a little more different than a regular frisbee because you were not throwing in an arcing motion, you were throwing in a pulling motion. So that's one thing to consider. More like if you're trying to start a chainsaw or if you're trying to open a door. That is what you want to do. I'm just going to throw this bad boy way down there. That is also the first thing you're going to learn in frisbee golf. You're going to hit the first tree. Moving on, I'm going to show you what a disc will do. So, since you're throwing right hand, backhand, while I'm throwing it, maybe you will, because that's common. But whatever you do, it will naturally spin, and then when it dies, fade off to the left. Because that's what they do. That's physics. You can't fight me on it. It's in a book somewhere. That's what it does. It's going to feel more exaggerated if you don't know how to throw. My bad, you're going to love it. And putters, since they feel the most like a frisbee, will fly like a frisbee the most. So, when you just crank it out there, it is going to feel the most comfortable and have the straightest flight of the 3. But you should throw it down the fairway, not looking at a camera. After you've made it here, after probably about 20 throws, you are close enough to putt into the basket. This you want to have a more relaxed grip and, just throw it more like a traditional frisbee because you are just trying to get it into the basket. Like so. Once you learned all that, now it's time to play your first round of frisbee golf. But the locals call it disc golf. Don't anger the locals. Have fun!